Alright, listen up. Ever felt like your words just bounce off a brick wall? Like you've got logic, you've got reason, but the person across from you is just not getting it. Or worse, they're getting aggressive, mistaking volume for authority, and leaving you simmering in frustration. It's a common trap, a modern-day gladiatorial arena where most people think the loudest roar wins. But what if I told you there's a different way to win? Not by shouting louder, not by descending into their chaos, but by deploying a kind of intelligence so sharp, so undeniable, that it brings even the most combative interlocutor to a profound silence, a silence of reflection, not just defeat. See, we've been spoon-fed this idea that to assert yourself, you have to be aggressive, that to be heard, you have to raise your voice. But that's a fool's game. True power, real authority, comes not from controlling others, but from an unshakable mastery over yourself. This isn't about quick comebacks or snappy retorts for the sake of winning an argument. This is about deploying surgical strikes of wisdom that dismantle toxic dynamics and rebuild respect. It's about wielding the ancient power of Stoicism, a philosophy designed to forge an unbreachable fortress of emotional control within you, so you can navigate life's verbal minefields with grace and absolute power. Today, we're diving deep, pulling back the curtain on Stoic wisdom to reveal 5 intelligent responses that aren't just phrases. They are manifestations of a deep-seated mental discipline. These are the tools that will empower you to articulate your truth, disarm aggressors, and command respect in any conversation. We're going to challenge your perspective on communication, showing you how true strength lies in a calm, controlled, and deeply thoughtful approach. This isn't just about winning an argument. It's about elevating your entire approach to personal development and becoming the kind of person others can't help but respect. Get ready, because what you're about to learn isn't just information. It's transformative power. If you're ready to stop playing defense and start playing chess with words, if you're ready to step into your true power and master the mental game of communication, then stick with me. This is going to be a game changer. But before we unlock these secrets, do me a huge favor, smash that like button. Drop a comment below telling me if you've ever felt this frustration of not being heard despite your logic. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more insights that will truly change your life. Alright, let's cut to the chase. The first intelligent response, bedrock of all Stoic wisdom in communication, is this. Master what's within your control from what isn't. This isn't just philosophy. It's a brutal truth that frees you. How much energy do you waste trying to change minds or stewing over stubbornness? Epictetus, the former slave turned philosopher, pounded this home. He said true power lies only in our opinions, impulses, desires, aversions, our own actions and thoughts. He taught that everything external, other people's opinions, their approval, their actions, is ultimately beyond our grasp. In today's chaotic world, this Stoic principle is your secret weapon for emotional control. When challenged, or someone isn't getting your logical point, your first move isn't to fight fire with fire. It's internal. Is their reaction truly within my influence? No, you can influence, but you can't control their perception. Wasting energy on what's outside your control is futile, exhausting, and unproductive. True power isn't about bending others. It's about owning your own internal game. This radical shift in perspective is the first step in personal development through ancient teachings. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. He governed an empire, but his real power lay in reasoned judgment and unwavering mental discipline. He wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He knew he couldn't force belief. This isn't giving up. It's strategic retreat from unwinnable battles, conserving energy for actions that truly matter. This is the foundation of genuine resilience, maintaining your inner fortress no matter what the world throws at you. When you internalize this, your communication shifts. You stop taking things personally, realizing their inability to understand isn't about you, but them, their beliefs, biases, or current state. This allows you to communicate from unshakable calm, rooted in your own purpose and virtue, rather than reacting from insecurity or anger. Speak your truth clearly, then let it go, knowing you've done your part. This self-mastery is transformative, leading to profound personal development. Are you resonating with this message? Hit that like button and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Now, let's keep this message going. But here's the kicker. Simply understanding this isn't enough. It's the application, the consistent action, that separates the observer from the true practitioner of Stoicism. How do you practically apply this when someone is baiting you, pushing your buttons, or being obtuse? It's not just what you don't do, it's what you do. It's aligning your purpose of life with every response, knowing you control your contribution to your own destiny. So, what does that empowered, controlled action look like in a difficult conversation? That's what we'll explore next, diving into specific language patterns embodying this mastery. Now let's talk brass tacks. When someone's flailing with aggressive energy, trying to pull you into their chaos, your first move isn't to fight back with force, but with finesse, a sort of verbal This is where your emotional control becomes your superpower. Remember Epictetus, a former slave who taught that our power lies not in controlling external events, but in how we respond to them. He'd tell you, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a blueprint for modern resilience. Your inner peace is non-negotiable, a fortress you guard with fierce mental discipline, allowing you to observe their storm without getting soaked. This deliberate non-reaction is your opening to reframe. So, how do you reframe? Instead of mirroring their intensity, you acknowledge it briefly, then pivot. Phrases like, "I hear your frustration, and it's clear you're passionate about this. But let's try to focus on the actual issue at hand. Are your allies?" You're validating their emotion, not their aggressive behavior, and immediately redirecting the energy towards purpose and logic. This technique, rooted in Stoic wisdom, prevents you from getting entangled in a pointless power struggle. Seneca, who understood the tumultuous Roman court, consistently advised maintaining your composure. Never let another's irrationality dictate your state. You're demonstrating virtue by choosing clarity over conflict, moving the conversation towards a productive action. The real magic happens when you shift the focus from their attack to a shared objective, or the lack thereof. Ask, what outcome are we truly striving for here? This question forces a pause, making them consider if their aggression serves any real purpose of life or just their ego. It's a strategic move to bring the interaction back to a level playing field, where reason can operate. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, often reflected on the futility of anger, reminding himself, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By refusing to engage in their emotional warfare, you not only preserve your personal development, but you subtly invite them to rise to your level of mental discipline. Sometimes, the most powerful response is strategic silence or a precisely aimed question. Let their aggressive rant hang in the air for a moment. Then, with calm emotional control, ask something like, "Could you elaborate on the specific point you're trying to make without the added intensity?" Or what exactly do you hope to achieve by taking this tone? These aren't challenges. They're invitations to clarity. They put the onus back on the aggressor to articulate their position logically, often deflating their emotional charge. This action demonstrates profound Stoic wisdom. You're discerning what is within your control, your response, your questions from what isn't their initial outburst. Ultimately, your goal isn't always to win an argument, but to protect your inner peace and steer your own ship. You're operating from a place of purpose, not reaction. When you consistently apply this disciplined mental, you're not just handling difficult conversations, you're actively shaping your destiny. You're building an unshakable inner core, understanding that your resilience isn't about avoiding storms, but about learning to sail through them with grace and power. What if, despite all this, they refuse to meet you in the realm of reason? How do you protect your energetic space and maintain your integrity when the other party remains committed to chaos? That's where the next level of Stoicism comes into play. Alright, so what happens when they flat out refuse to meet you on the playing field of reason? When their commitment to chaos trumps any logical appeal? This is where the true test of your Stoicism kicks in. You must retreat to your inner citadel, a concept Marcus Aurelius championed. He taught that while external events are beyond our grip, your judgments and reactions remain fully within your emotional control. You can't change others, but you can safeguard your mental landscape. This isn't surrender. It's discerning your true power, realizing some battles are internal. One with unshakable resolve and profound mental discipline. Strategic disengagement is often the wisest action. This isn't defeat, but potent Stoic wisdom. Seneca, for instance, advised against wasting energy on fruitless conflicts. He implied our hesitation often makes things difficult, not the other way around. By stepping away, you're not running but refusing to fuel their drama. You preserve energy for your true purpose and purpose of life, for what genuinely drives your personal development. This requires immense resilience, discerning when to disengage from strength, not weakness, keeping your inner compass steady. True victory isn't proving them wrong or getting the last word. It's redefined internally through virtue. Epictetus's dichotomy of control is key. Some things are up to us, some aren't. Their behavior, not your business. Your response, absolutely. Your integrity, character, and commitment to your path remain your dominion. Upholding your virtue and maintaining inner peace amidst their chaos, you're already winning. This is core to genuine personal development. Aligning daily action with your purpose of life, strengthening your core despite storms. By choosing not to engage, you pull the plug on their negative energy cycle. You starve the beast, as they say. This isn't ignoring, but refusing their drama to pollute your energetic space. It's a profound recognition of your destiny. Not as predetermined fate, but the path you carve through your choices and reactions. You're reclaiming control, understanding energy is a finite resource, best spent on growth, not unproductive squabbles. This is ultimate Stoic wisdom, flow like water, finding the path of least resistance for your own well-being, preserving your purpose. Você está gostando desta mensagem? Deixe um like e comente de onde você está assistindo esta mensagem. Agora vamos continuar com esta mensagem. This profound boundary setting is an action of self-respect, a cornerstone of solid emotional control. So, I ask you, how much vital energy are you currently wasting on battles not yours to fight? Think about it. while disengagement is powerful. What if passive-aggressive attacks come from someone you can't easily disengage from, a family member, a colleague, or a long-term partner? How do you navigate these treacherous waters without losing your sense of self, inner peace, and core purpose? That's mastering the subtle countermove, an advanced maneuver in this mental game. When you're locked in with a passive-aggressive player, you can't just ditch, think family, a long-term colleague, or even a partner. The game changes. Disengagement isn't an option. You need a different armor. Here, emotional control becomes your superpower, building an internal fortress no external noise can penetrate. This is pure Stoicism, focusing relentlessly on what's within your sphere of influence, because everything else is just background static. Don't let their chaos become your chaos. That internal fortress isn't just a metaphor, it's a practice. Epictetus, the Stoic teacher, constantly hammered home the dichotomy of control. Only our judgments and reactions are truly ours. Everything else, other people's actions, their passive-aggressive jabs, is external. The true power move is recognizing their negativity can only harm you if you allow it. This demands an ironclad mental discipline and unwavering resilience, rooted deep in Stoic wisdom, understanding where your real power lies. So, how do you play this out? When those snide remarks or subtle digs hit, your action is to respond like a brick wall. Firm, neutral, unyielding. No drama, no fireworks, no bait. This isn't about winning an argument, it's about refusing their twisted game. Think gray rock, you become uninteresting, offering no emotional reward. Marcus Aurelius, facing imperial chaos, focused on his virtue and purpose for inner tranquility. His meditations teach us, state facts, express limits, or remain silent, preserving your sacred inner space against their noise. Understanding why they do it, often born from their own insecurities or need for control, can offer a detached perspective, but never excuse their behavior. Your job isn't to fix them or get tangled in their internal mess. Your job is to protect your purpose of life, your energy, and your peace. This approach is a critical component of genuine personal development. You're not fighting fire with fire. You're becoming the water that quenches the flames without getting burned. Recognize you are only responsible for your own responses, not their emotional state. Don't let their chaos define your reality. Consistently applying this strategy isn't just defense. It's a profound act of self-governance and resilience. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, building an inner fortitude few can touch. This refined approach fundamentally changes you, strengthening character and aligning you more deeply with your authentic destiny. You're actively shaping your path, not as a victim, but as the architect of your inner world. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, mastering your internal landscape. By refusing their game, you're elevating your existence to a higher virtue. But what if manipulation is so subtle, so ingrained, you barely even recognize it? How do you spot the invisible chains before they bind you? That's the real mind game, isn't it? When manipulation isn't a direct assault, but a whisper, a subtle shift that leaves you off. Most get tripped up here, losing footing without knowing a trap was laid. The Stoics knew this psychological warfare isn't new, it's just got a modern coat of paint. To spot these invisible chains, you need emotional control. Epictetus hammered this home. It's not external events that disturb us, but our interpretation. Your inner world is your first defense. Are you truly seeing things as they are, or through their fog? So, how do you tune into that frequency? Pay attention to how others make you feel. Are you constantly second-guessing yourself, feeling guilt-tripped, or walking on eggshells around certain individuals? These aren't random feelings. They're red flags your subconscious is waving. Subtle manipulators excel at gaslighting, playing the victim, or passive aggression, slowly eroding your purpose. Stoic wisdom demands we look past the surface, identify the underlying intent, and question everything that threatens your peace. This calls for serious mental discipline, a vigilant mind. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, used disciplina mental to strip away the narrative and see things objectively. In you, our minds often create complex stories around simple facts. To counter subtle manipulation, cultivate this detachment. Journaling, fact-checking, and neutral perspectives are powerful tools. Your purpose of life isn't to get bogged down in someone else's warped reality. It's aligning with virtue, honesty, justice, self. If their actions consistently undermine these in you, that's your cue. Are you honoring your own truth, or just playing their game? Once you truly see it for what it is, the spell breaks. That clarity, that decisive action to refuse to engage on their terms, is your ultimate power move. It's an act of profound self-preservation and resilience. Forged in the fires of Stoic wisdom, you become impenetrable. Are you enjoying this message? Leave a like and comment where you're watching this from. Now let's continue with this message. Because you've internalized Epictetus's core teaching, distinguish what's in your control from what isn't. Their manipulation, that's their problem, not yours. Your response, your inner state, your peace, that's yours. You don't internalize their garbage, you deflect it, protecting your purpose of life. This powerful detachment isn't coldness, it's your shield, giving you genuine emotional control. This profound transformation is part of your continuous personal development journey, shaping your It enables you to steer your own ship, aligning with your true purpose. But what if the toxic dynamic is deeply ingrained within a relationship you truly value, one you can't easily walk away from? How do you apply this wisdom when the ties bind you deeper than you imagine? Look, when you're truly bound, your internal fortress isn't just a metaphor, it's your only sanctuary. This isn't about running, it's about mental discipline, refusing to let their chaos hijack your virtue or dilute your purpose. That's your ultimate power move. The mark of resilience forged in Stoic wisdom. You own how you show up every single time. Now, I gotta ask, in your toughest relationship, where do you draw your line? Spill the tea below. If this hit home, like, share, and subscribe to level up. Next, check this video on mastering emotional control when ties bind deep. Until then, keep that inner game sharp.